Hey, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on December 23rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me here is Brooks. Go ahead and say hello.
I hope everyone's having a good morning.
And hey, what do you know? The topics didn't get updated. Whoops! Oh, I knew I forgot something today. Okay, so just a quick little brief overview here. Yes, we are going to be briefly talking about a player survey, but also we do have, of course, NGS headline today, and also we got some news from Clementine as well as Affinia, which we'll also be talking about here. But yeah, the big news that we're going to be getting today from the NGS headline is going to be the new roadmap for New Genesis, so that's going to be pretty exciting to see what we're actually getting in that here. Obviously, we know some of what's coming up. We know that there's going to be at the, I think it's the Dragon X that's going to be introduced soon into the game sometime in February. But beyond that, and also we've got the new Nameless City section coming up, but we really don't have too many other details beyond that. I think there was also a Slayer expansion, and then also a new mini-episode coming up as well.
Well, people keep saying we're waiting for that they were going to give us that we need a year before we got a serious update to the story. So, I'm hoping we get more than just an update on another mini-episode.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, actually. It says mini-episode February onwards. And can we just talk about that last mini-episode? That didn't even last 15 minutes!
Yeah, it was almost not worth logging in for.
Rio Pichu, let me take a quick look, because I didn't see anything come up in my notices here. I had covered, like, the version, like, one of the beta releases. Let me see, real quick, while we have a moment here. Okay, so... last announcement on that was actually back in September, so, and I believe we did cover that, so, yeah, we're very much aware of Sonic Robo Blast 2 Infinity that you're talking about there. We did cover those updates as they were coming through. But yeah, that was so little content, and I kind of did my best to do with what they gave us with that, because at one point Ilma was talking about gaming gear, and I just said to myself, okay, let me run with this after I was done, or rather after they said that line, and I was like, is this supposed to be a mistranslation of the Game Gear? Which, you know, Sega loves to put references to their old consoles and handhelds into their games, so it was either going to be that, or it was supposed to be a reference to something from Central Underground, which, you know, we still have yet to see that place whatsoever.
That is true. We haven't seen anything about Central, and it's kind of, I mean, we barely know anything about what kind of life they have down there.
Yep.
However, also in reference to the gaming gear, there are people who think the new CEO is of the temperament to try to get back into producing game consoles.
Well, it'll be interesting if that's really the way that things are heading. I mean, if we're talking about new consoles, the main problem with going into a new console right now is going to be the memory costs associated with that. I mean, have you seen the price of memory for just regular computers these days?
It's a topic I'm trying to avoid looking into right now.
Understood. Okay, then that's all we'll say about it for now then. But it
I
looks
am
like there's...
aware that I am aware there's issues. Oh,
Yep.
we're going live.
Yep.
NGS Headline Wave. Hello everyone. It's time for NGS Headline Wave, the official program of PSO2 New Genesis version 2. I'm Yui Hasegawa, and I'll be your host for this broadcast.
Hasegawa appears to be dressed up as a
I'll be bringing you all
reindeer.
the latest info on NGS. Be sure
This
to
time?
stay tuned until the end.
Yep. Wasn't there an
This is
outfit
the
like that in
last Headline
PSO2?
Wave for 2025.
I think
This year
so,
was
yeah.
super exciting. We kicked things off with the King of the Starless, Dark.
Unfortunately, I still kind of got
Then,
Delta Rune on my
EX
brain, so this is
style
also
and new face-off.
kind of set me
And
off for
continued
that
to
as
evolve
well
the
right
variant
now,
for
but
weapons and
I know it
armor.
has no reference.
And this time too, we've got tons of information you don't want to miss. Like the roadmap, and also the roadmap, and who could forget, of course, the roadmap!
They're putting a lot of emphasis
Now,
on this
once again,
roadmap.
this program is to inform players about upcoming
It
campaigns
better be
and
worth
updates
it.
for Sega's online RPG,
I agree.
PSO2 New Genesis version 2, also known as NGS. We will also share messages and answers to player questions from the dev team and provide other game-related info. Tune into this program to learn all you need to know about NGS now and into the future. That's Headline Wave in a nutshell. This is a pre-recorded broadcast. If you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
Now, is this going to start with a video from the producer when they talk about the roadmap? I guess we'll find out about that soon enough.
First off, I'd like to share some info on the January 2026 updates.
No, they're holding that off for later.
Let's start with a video.
Okay, I hear Phantasy Star Universe music there.
Oh, Phantasy Star Crew logo.
I must have missed that. The Rago Rappy and Rago Great Rappy are back. Okay. Typically, they do 6 weeks, I think, for the Christmas and New Year event, whereby it's just 6 consecutive weeks of seasonal points.
Oh, they're bringing that back.
Is that supposed to be a Luther look?
Ah, yes, the thing that has a lot of people up in arms.
Okay, so Ultra Realm update.
You know, these areas are basically absolutely empty once players are done grinding them.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how they set up the weapon acquisition system. There's like no incentive for players to go back. And there's our armor upgrades. So we'll have to see if Luther's actually going to be sticking around. No, he's saying until February 4th. That's a shame. I was really hoping they were going to put him in the Alliance shop. For the triggers, I mean. Because then at least that it would mean that the mission would stick around then.
Yep.
I mean, I'm curious now if the trigger will at least, if you don't use it by the 4th, if you'll still be able to get in.
It's hard to believe that they would just delete the trigger. I mean, delete the quest even after the trigger.
But then again, that's how a lot of LTQs work. They just get rid of the stuff. Unfortunately, most of this I would likely never ever pick up. I
Agreed.
really don't have much to comment here.
If the game was in much better shape, I might be taking a much more serious look, but at this point, unless it's something I really catches my eye, I'm not going to even consider giving it a second look.
Let me go through the details with these slides.
Yeah, I hear that.
Let's start with this. The Super Genesis Festival, a series of campaigns to commemorate NGS's 4.5-year anniversary, is moving into its second half. There's a lot to look forward to in the second half of December, including new free scratch tickets and new armor. Get up to 100 free draws of our new free AC scratch ticket. Log in daily and aim for new items like the Emperor plush and the Emperor mask. The scratch count bonus for Super Treasure Scratch Volume 13 features the weapon camo Soul Banish in PSO2 specs.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I realize, if New Genesis hadn't gone with the new augment system, and I know the old augment system was sort of a disaster, but if they hadn't gone with it, we probably would see players going back to the older missions to pick up the augments they needed.
Yep, but here's the thing, I could have fixed the old augment system with one change. You know what that was?
Part 2 of the Super Free SG Scratch starts on
Not
January 7th.
making the rate of the augments so low?
Just like in Part 1, you can draw up to
No,
100.
no, actually, it would be making it so that you could just
We've updated the lineup
use
with
any
accessories like companion
number of
blend
slots
and
with
ARKS
any
logo
other
nets.
number of slots, removing the slot limit.
Oh, I
You'll
see
be
what you're
able to
saying.
get
So
new
going
upgrade
directly from a
materials
4
Super
up to an 8 or
Genesis
something like that.
Yeah, you could use any
And
combination
Augment
for
Tracer Pass vouchers are
the
still in the
slots.
mix, so make sure to log in
and
every day.
no real penalty for upslotting.
I would agree with
The
that.
Super
Yeah.
Reward Box offers of
That would make the
special
system
outfits
so
plus
much
star
easier
gems,
for
beta
everyone.
reactors, and more.
So if we were to ever redo this
We'll
and
also be
implement
running
it
a Use the Salon to Your Heart's
into
Content
a
campaign, boosts,
PSO2
and a heck of a lot
a
more as the
PSO2
Super
style
Genesis Festival heads into January.
a fixed system, that would be the main thing I would do.
The AC Scratch
You might
ticket,
want to have a
every
chat with the
year, popular
Starlight
item
team about
revival
that then.
2025 will be available from December 27th. This scratch ticket brings back popular past Avatar items, including the hairstyles Bewitching Spectress hair and Phantasmagia hair. The Scratch Count bonus offers another chance to pick up the Onomatopoeia series of accessories in PSO2 specs, as well as the weapon camo, Heretic Mort. The second half of the Super Genesis Festival 2025 seasonal event kicks off on January 1st. Central City will be dressed up in classy New Year's Day decor, and the region mags will put on their winter coats. Raguo Rappy and Raguo Great Rappy will stay with us from the first half of this seasonal event, brightening up these cold winter days. Our navigator, Shandy, is ready for Halfa's hop-in après-ski scene in her salopettes. She's investigating enemy movement in Halfa, so see what she has to say. Look for the build parts, rice cake making, and zoni soup at the seasonal points exchange shop, plus the accessory, Desser Gunblade, modeled after that enemy weapon. You can also pick up NEX cubes, items for Tech Arts customization, Super Genesis Festival 2025 SP scratch tickets, and more, so be sure to hit up that exchange shop. Limited time tasks and title tasks will also be added for the seasonal event. Complete these tasks to earn TA Customization Disc, X Omni, N Master Cubes, Arms Refiner 2, and more. Next up is the AC Scratch Ticket, NY Yours Augment Select 2026. This scratch ticket features Yours type augments, which are upgrades from the Lars type augments, as well as new augment capsules for EX augments.
And this is Sega basically making something cost something that used to be free that you could just grind out in the game.
More powerful than current EX augments, but carry restrictions.
Yep.
For example, only one can be affixed to a weapon.
They're trying to sell to the people who aren't interested in the passion of the game.
Take care when using these, since you can't affix two augments of the same kind to the same weapon. For example, you can't affix EX Turnover A to a weapon that already has EX Turnover. Furthermore, A-type EX augments count towards the 3 EX augment slot limit. Feeling nostalgic? Then the Revival AC Scratch Ticket Rewind Collection 2026 is just the ticket for you. This AC Scratch Ticket contains prizes from January's past. The Scratch Count bonus features motion changes
Sure, I hate
from
to
past
say it, but I
scratch
don't
bonuses,
expect
as well as
that
another
they're going
shot
to
at
be
the
pulling
weapon
it off
camo
much
hard
longer.
phone. Check it out.
Their sales have been going down consistently year
And the
over
revivals
year.
keep coming. Next up, the
Yep.
NY Refined Revival 2026 SG Scratch Ticket.
It's not a good look, that's for certain.
This scratch ticket bundles together a collection of outfits from past refined form tickets. The Scratch Count bonus brings back past Scratch Count bonuses, including the emote Gorilla Time. Try your luck with these New Year's scratch tickets and see what surprises await. Altered Battle Line Tundra Area Gorge will be added to Alter Realm Exploration combat sectors on January 7th. Alter Realm Exploration combat sectors require players to activate PSE bursts and then take down the powerful high enemies that appear during PSE climaxes. In Altered Battle Line, Tundra Area Gorge, you'll face new trials, including Arkland Disruption Zone enemy suppression and Raid Area enemy suppression. In each of these trials, objects will spawn that damage the player, but you can also use these objects to gain an advantage in battle. 2 new player ability buffs will also be added. Both of these new buffs will unleash a powerful effect when you dodged using sidestep. Be sure to try it out.
It looks like the same thing that's in the
Limited time and title tasks will also be added
in
to
the
coincide with
Dolls
Alter Realm
Falls
exploration updates.
fight, the second fight against
Complete these
Aegis.
tasks to earn Super Genesis Festival 2025 SP scratch tickets and Master Cubes and
Well,
more.
similar.
Yeah, we're just not we're not going to be
Soon,
carrying
it
a
will be
cannon at the
possible to
time.
upgrade to 13-star rarity Forza armor to different 14-star rarity armors. You'll be able to choose between Belfast armor with higher HP and PP and Belfast armor VO.
I haven't
Dazzling
updated my
HP
armor
gives
yet
higher
because
PP boosts instead.
there's not enough. Which,
Same here.
honestly, I mean, my current armor still outpaces the free armor,
Both
and
armors increase weapon potency by 8% and give additional damage resistance.
Yep. And for me, it's like a break even on the against what the weapon I originally had in the freebie
you'll be
now.
able to acquire in Altered Battle Line Tundra Area Gorge. The grind is
Although
worth
the freebie is the freebie has a higher attack power, but I have a better
Drill Luther Emergent Creative
fix on
Conqueror
the
will soon be available as a trigger quest.
on my original weapon.
This will be a trigger quest version of the Urgent Quest Luther Emergent Created Conqueror released on December 17th. The quest triggers you'll need to accept this quest will be available in the Enmaseta Treasure Shop until February 4th. You can accept
Come
this
on,
quest
Sega,
at the
make
quest
it
counter
a
under
permanent
limited time quests
from the
January 7th to February 4th, and under trigger quests
from
after
the
that
from the
period.
Alliance shop after this.
Next up, we have Mission Pass NGS Season 52. In addition to stamps and accessories, the lineup includes valuable items such as personal shop use, 3 days, and SG scratch ticket prize slips, similar to previous releases. The Yaklo and Yakoda armor accessories from PSO2 will make their NGS debut this season. You can also get the new Emperor Rappy helmet accessory and the mag form Reindeer Rappy based on our favorite frenemy. Don't miss out. Next, I'll introduce the new AC scratch ticket Modish Winter 2026. Stay warm in style with cropped down jackets, denim strapless salopettes, and knit dresses. All perfect outfits for a chilly winter.
We haven't seen any new cast parts, have we?
There will also be new variations of idle motion changes like model pose and signature pose, so get ready for a super cool photo shoot.
despite one of the devs being a major Gundam fan, we haven't seen
That's all
any
for the updates
fresh
coming in the first
cast
half of the
parts.
month. Now, let's take a look at the updates starting January 13th, starting with this video.
I guess we'll see if there's anything with this video. Okay, that's Will Paul on the in the beach setting. Yep, so weaponoids are things exclusive to PSO2S.
You know, I dare them to do a N-type version of Lucy's outfit.
That would be an interesting one for them to put out, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, they may have got me on this one.
Oh?
The sword. The ability to just have your weapon reflected in the...
I see what you're talking about, yeah. Three-way race.
You know, honestly, I'll probably, if I'm forced to run this, I'll probably just run it solo.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, yeah. Especially since it looks like you're ending up at this spot here.
Figured they were going to do the upgrade to the Dreadkeeper.
Yep. That was a short update.
Let me go through the details with these slides. Let's start with this. Get ready to flex on your foes with our PSO2ES Collab AC Scratch Ticket, PSO2ES Weaponoid Style.
And that's supposed to last 3 weeks? Or no, 2 weeks, okay. Because the next headline would be on the 27th, okay.
Born from weapons appearing in PSO2. Turn yourself into a Demonia Saber, Psyche Hoyoku.
Well, yeah, it would be 3 weeks of content, though, that it needs to hold for.
The sword you have equipped. If you want to slay all day, this is the ticket for you.
Unless they decide to, like, do the next set of content after only 2 weeks. Would that be
limited time quest?
That'd be kind of unusual.
Arrives on
It would mean the next headline would happen the same day that content would release.
The quest begins with players divided into 3 separate lanes, and the goal is to progress through your lane and complete it. Up to 12 ARKS defenders can participate. Defeating enemies in each lane will reduce the health of the boss enemy in the final area.
Hey, so this is the content's going to be after the New Year seasonal is gone.
Limited time tasks and title tasks for this limited time quest. Complete these tasks to earn titles and Super Genesis Festival 2025 SP Scratch tickets. The new augment, Argent Dreadkeeper, is also heading your way. You can make this one at the item lab using Augment Capsule Exchange Enhancement materials. You'll need the new Augment Uniter Dia, as well as Grand Dreadkeeper 2 and Magis Dreadkeeper 2. The material item Uniter Dia will be available from the limited time quest Drill 3-Way Race at first, with more ways to obtain it added in future updates. In addition, the Seasonal Points Exchange Shop will have new additions to the lineup, such as special scratch tickets, SG, Augment Capsules, and Endmaster Cubes.
Oh, they're making this last for 8 weeks?
The Revival AC Scratch Ticket, PSO2 Memories, January 2026, drops on January 21st.
They did say they were keeping the trigger available all the way up into February.
True. I just wouldn't expect the seasonal points to be available for acquisition beyond the 13th. Because usually it only goes for like 6 weeks between December and January.
We also have the Accessory Revival January 2026 AC Scratch Ticket, which features a collection of previously released accessories. From popular items like Neanderthal hands and glowing circle to handy end spheres, there's lots to love. SG Support Select January 2026, on the other hand, will give you another chance to grab items useful for preset skill enhancement. That concludes the update information for today. Moving on to the next segment.
Alright, this is where they're probably going to talk about the new roadmap.
In this segment,
and we'll see if we get a note from the producer.
And live ops teams in response to players' questions and comments.
Or a video, rather.
We will begin with a letter from the developers. A message from the dev team to ARKS defenders. This time we also have a video message, so let's take a look.
Okay.
Hello to all the ARKS out there. Hamazaki here. I'm the series director of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. I hope everyone is enjoying the Super Genesis Festival that began on December 3rd. PSO has reached its 25th anniversary and NGS its 4.5-year anniversary.
Is it me, or does he have, like, dark circles under his eyes?
So in this episode,
He always looks like that. Well, actually, it's gotten worse. I think he knows his game's kind of screwed.
The year-long NGS 5th
Here we go.
anniversary event 5.
Wait, what the heck? New boss in me? Oh, that must be the Slayer update.
Traditional
Yeah.
anniversary free
What's the
scratch
first
ticket and free
character there,
AC
though?
scratch ticket will have tons of
That's what I was
fantastic
talking
items
about.
added to the
Gotcha, yeah. Second thing is Zestrata.
Even outside of the
Third
anniversary
is
event,
Amplum.
we have
No,
prepared
not
many
Amplum.
additional
The
updates
other
to
thing.
celebrate
The
the 5th anniversary, including a new SP scratch
Oh,
ticket and a
The
brand
thing
wait,
that
so
the
is
toy
Arya
merch
going
would-
to go evil on us?
vocalist.
yeah.
We hope you
And then
enjoy
the last
NGS
one is-
throughout the entire year.
Uh,
Furthermore, we will be releasing a new field update called Neon City in February.
yeah. Thank you,
It
Azer.
will offer a new style of
And then the
gameplay
last one, I
different
guess,
from
is
Nameless City.
going to be whoever
We'll
is
have more
the cause
details
of
for you
the
in next
rifts that we're
NGS
seeing
Headline Wave.
around the map.
We're also
That's
planning
bringing
a
out all
collab
the
scratch ticket with a popular
starless
plastic model
through them
IP,
and
as
the
well as
zones that
some
we can go
limited
into.
time quests.
No, I don't think it's
Also in
Saddam.
April, you will finally get to enjoy the long-awaited new story. But first, take a look at this.
We lost contact with the research team a few hours ago. The very last communication we received from them simply stated,
Oh, what's going on here?
something's off about this place.
What are you doing? We're all ARKS here, aren't we?
I've been thinking. This desert looks an awful lot like Ratem. The whole time
Duh.
I've been here.
You gotta understand, the average,
You're not going to attack
the average
me for no
IQ
reason like
of
Are you the one who killed the entire research team? But why?
That's... Wait. There's no way.
As your reward for making it this far, I suppose I'm obligated to show you the truth.
How was it?
Why am I suddenly getting echoes back to the theory that this was all a second phase of the testing that Zepheto started?
Chapter of the main story is scheduled to be released every 4 months.
Why that'd be
starting in
hilarious.
April. We hope you enjoy your new adventures with Aina, Manon, and your other ARKS.
Yeah, I have no idea whose voice that is.
In April, we will introduce a new high difficulty quest where you can enjoy battling against a powerful
So,
large-scale
April to
enemy,
May, we get
along with
main
updates
story
to the
chapter
Slayer
8,
class and the
August to
NGS
September,
5th anniversary
chapter 9. Okay, so at
Super
least
Festival.
we're not waiting a year this time between
In
chapters.
June, we will raise the class level cap to 120 and update the Tech Arts customization system. A new field, different from Halpha and the Alter Realm, is also in the works. Based on the enemy silhouettes shown on the roadmap, some ARKS may already have an idea of what kind of field is on the way. Moving forward, in April, a high difficulty quest featuring a battle against a new large-scale enemy will be released. This one is for ARKS with real skills. Get ready for a challenge.
If he's making that kind of comment that ARKS may know what kind of field is on the way, are they
That makes use of the
suggesting a
core process.
darker nest? Or a false spawn nest?
This content will be a significant
Possibly.
undertaking for our development team, so keep your eyes peeled for more details. In August,
I mean, we
will
know that there are
celebrate the
darkers
14th
or
anniversary
false spawn
of PSO2
outside
with the Super
the
Fantasy Festival.
outside the
Release
scope
Chapter 9
of
the main story, and deliver a limited time quest featuring enemies with familiar silhouettes.
outside of the known
From
planets,
October onward, updates will
because of
include new field content
PSO2S
new Tech
and the
Arts
story of what
customization.
happened on Erzamot.
With this update, customization will be available for all photon arts and techniques. We also plan to release challenging new quest content that differs from conventional quests, so be ready for that too. Furthermore, be on the lookout for a new equipment
As Super Batter
system
put
as a
it
follow-up
once,
to
I
Skill
really
as well
think
as rarities
at this
50
point it
stars and
feels
higher.
like the levels mean nothing.
And that's not all.
Yeah,
In addition
agreed.
to what's listed on the roadmap, there will be other updates including new face options and more, so there's a lot to look forward to. That concludes our introduction of the 2026 roadmap.
We'll go back to that
We will
roadmap
continue to announce
after they're done with the
information through
headline.
NGS Headline and other channels, so please stay tuned for further updates.
And
Once again,
Nurdin,
thank you very much for playing NGS
I
throughout
don't know if
2025.
we're gonna go all the way to level 200, but at least it seems to be heading in that path.
Next year, the development and operations team will continue to work together as one to bring you enjoyable updates as we head into NGS's 5th anniversary and PSO2's 15th anniversary beyond that. We hope you'll continue to enjoy NGS throughout 2026.
A big thank you to series director Hamazaki. It sounds like 2026 will be another year packed with exciting content. Whenever I have more details, I'll be sure to let you know through this broadcast. Continuing on to the next section, I have answers to players' questions and comments from the development and live operations teams. Here's the first one. In the salon, each item's selection form includes sort and filter options. But closing the window resets these settings, making it cumbersome when you need to go back and forth editing multiple items. Would it be possible to keep the sort and filter settings? Here is their response. We are planning a change to retain the filter settings for each item in the salon even after closing the form. Filter settings will be retained until you exit the game, so please enjoy the salon with settings that make selection easier. Let's move on to the next question. Among ingredient effects in quick food, the potency up effect from meats is so strong that it has become effectively essential. Are there any plans to make improvements to help correct ARK's skewed eating habits? Here is their response. We plan to change the number of items required to activate the maximum of food effect from 10 to 5. As a result, the number of meat ingredients required for potency up will be 5, allowing you to use other ingredients as well.
Okay.
While this may be a slight inconvenience in some ways, you may want to update your recipes, for example. We hope you'll now get to enjoy the full cornucopia of ingredients available on Halfa. That's all for our Q&A today.
So it's not making it more
Moving forward, we
powerful,
will continue to
or rather,
bring
it's not
questions
making
development and
a
operations
single
teams
ingredient
and
more
champions
powerful, but at least now you'll be able to have more variety in,
Please share your thoughts
say,
and opinions
if
on
you want
this
to
program
have
and the
full
game on X
potential
and
up
other social
plus
media using the
better
same hashtag as
defenses
the
or
previous
something.
headline series, #NGS Headline.
Yep. Still doesn't fix that it's a crap cooking system,
Moving
though.
on to the next
Agreed.
section.
Yeah, they were making this huge push during the last mini episode with Manon starting to cook, and it seemed like they were going to completely revamp the system based on that, but
Now let's move
nope.
on to updates and talk about some other NGS related info.
What a complete tease that was.
I'm sure it will give you even more hype to play the game. Let's start with this.
I suspect they're going to try to see if they can't tease
You can
players
get
back
special
with
deals on
as
in-game
little
items in the
effort as
web-exclusive
possible
PSO2NGS web store.
before they decide whether or not they want to just shut the game down as is.
Gotcha. Yep.
In addition to store bonuses that provide additional value over regular AC purchases, it features an exclusive 55% discount on your first purchase of select items.
Yeah, they're really getting desperate if it's a 55% discount.
Please be
Although
aware
I think
that
they've had
AC
some like that
purchase
before.
of PSO2NGS web
Just
store
not on
cannot
the,
be used on the PS4 version.
On the web store before.
The PSO2NGS web store can be accessed from the NGS official website. Hover over Buy AC on the official website or game launcher, then select Web Store. Please note that the web store cannot be accessed from in-game. We're excited to announce a collaboration between NGS and Kotobukiya's Hexagear and Megami Device plastic model series scheduled to begin in
Ooh,
February
Hexagear.
2026.
Okay, so that's where we'll get
Okay,
new cast parts.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to be
This collab
allowed.
will feature
They're probably not going to be allowed
from
for.
Hexagear, as well as AUV Amaterasu
Screenshot
Arabia,
contests and such?
AUV Amaterasu Eclipse,
Yeah.
Punimofu Mao, and Punimofu Tou from Megami Device. In addition to cast parts and accessories,
But
numerous
Hexagear
collab
has
items
a
such as
lot
weapon
of
camo,
really.
emotes, and build parts are in the works.
It's a model kit series that's designed to
Allow me
allow
to
you to
briefly
kit bash
introduce
the
Hexagear
models.
and Megami Device series.
Gotcha.
Hexagear is an original mecha series from Kotobukiya, developed around a hexagonal joint system and centered around the concept of scrap and build. With a 1/24th scale setting, these models are designed to work seamlessly with fully articulated pilot figures, offering a diverse range of mechanical designs and a rich world where new stories can unfold. Megami Device is a near-future battle hobby series featuring 14cm tall autonomous robot figures. At its core is the Mashinika base body, designed by Masaki APSY, with a variety of talented designers contributing to the exterior designs. Parts within the series are fully compatible with one another, and these models can also be combined with a wide range of previously released Kotobukiya plastic model components. More details regarding the collab will be announced in the next NGS Headline Wave. This plastic model series has been a top collab request from ARKS defenders. Keep your eyes peeled for more details. New products featuring Jene and Aneta will be released by Kotobukiya. The plastic model, Grand Scale Jene Stella Innocence version, features Jene clad in the Stella Innocence outfit, recreated as a brand new model kit in an impressive grand scale of approximately 25 centimeters in height. Price 13,200 yen.
You notice
included.
that
Shipping
it's
starts December
J-
24th.
that they're
In-store
releasing
release begins
Janae,
around December
but there is
24th.
absolutely nothing here for
The figures Summer
Manon
Story
or
Jenny,
Ina.
Summer Vacation, and White Sand Aneta
Right,
Summer Vacation
yeah.
are brand new products that bring to life the chip visuals introduced in summer 2021.
Kotobukiya probably said, nope, you're not bringing
Both
those
are
characters
1/6
in.
scale, standing over 30
Could be,
centimeters
yeah.
tall for an impressive presence.
It's
a
only
bit
these
more.
3 figures as well. I'm surprised they aren't doing others.
27,500 yen, tax included. Release May 2026.
Well, the toy has been out of circulation long enough to be that. And also, I suspect Sega doesn't want. Well, the dev team doesn't want people to be reminded of Matoy.
We're excited to
Because
introduce the latest release from Hexagear, the Definition Armor VT1 plastic model kit.
Yes,
This all-in-one
it's not
item
just
includes both
mix and
Hexagear
match.
and a governor.
Some of them
By using the
have
optional
can
handle
be
parts,
transformed.
You can even mount character model kits like Megami
Gotcha.
Device,
You know, like
making
Transformers.
it a truly playable machine. Price 7,480 yen, tax included. Release March 2026.
Yeah, I could see the I could
From
see
Megami
that
Device comes Ignace's
the
Garment,
one in the upper
scheduled to
left
launch
becoming
soon.
a movement type.
This latest Megami Device, created by illustrator Knee Deep, known for
Or
designing
a dash
Amaterasu
type.
from this collaboration, and Jene from PSO2ES, features a military-inspired design packed with details and offers plenty of play value, including customizable weapon configurations. Price 7,920 yen, tax included. Release April 2026.
Although it's interesting that they're doing a direct
And
ad
from
for
Megami
that.
Device comes the adorable Punimofu King Shao. This new model
I
is
guess
a
it must be
color
part of the
variation
part of the
Punimofu
agreement they
Shao,
signed
designed by
to get the
illustrator
collab.
Blade, who also created the collaboration characters Puni Mofu Mao and Puni Mofu To. It features skin color E, giving it a healthy and energetic look. Price, 6,930 yen, tax included. Release, May 2026. That's all for the satellite information. Next, we have our regular mini segment where we highlight something NGS related, such as concept art, in-game songs, or aggregated data, and delve into it with commentary from the development team. This time, we're introducing new actions in the limited time urgent quest, Luther, Emergent Created Conqueror, added in the December 17th update, where you battle the new Dark Files class Ruinous, Ruin Luther. We've received comments from the development team about this feature. Dark Falls Luther, the original version of Ruin Luther, was one of the most popular enemies in PSO2. In the implementation of Ruin Luther, we not only considered how to recreate the memorable actions from the Dark Files Luther fight within the NGS battle system, but also challenged ourselves to deliver new surprises. Regarding Luther's hallmark time manipulation actions, in addition to the previous behaviors of acceleration, deceleration, and time freezes, we have newly added a behavior to some attacks that rewinds time. Additionally, the finishing move that caps the battle is a finisher internally called the Omniscience Time, nicknamed TOT. We designed Luther's final time manipulation move with the motif of a giant clock face. We have prepared special background music where the PSO2 main theme plays to show the tide of the battle shifting away from the arcs as Luther strikes back. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of the original PSO's release, we have adjusted and added the characteristic attacks of PSO's formidable foes, Dark Falls and
Let me put this,
so they can also be enjoyed in the NGS battle system. For those who have been playing the series for many years,
how do I
we
put
use
this?
the original sound effects from that time to evoke a sense of nostalgia. We hope that you'll enjoy the battle against Ruin Luther.
They
where
just
the series
released new
history and
designs
talent is coming
for
together.
Manon and Ina and ES. And those designs are so much more popular than their NGS designs. I would not be surprised if we see Ina and Manon getting a remake and redesign soon in NGS just because of that.
Didn't they just get one like a year or two ago, though?
Yeah, I know. But when you actually have a sudden flood of fan art for these characters coming in, you're going to get Sega's attention and say, oh, something worked this time.
That's true, yeah.
Unfortunately, what the message they're receiving is make the characters more
We will
sexy
discuss other concept art and songs in the coming episodes. So we
instead
hope
of
you'll look
making the
forward to that.
characters better in story.
That's all for this episode of NGS Headline Wave. This broadcast strives to make NGS even better by collecting audience input. Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game by using the same hashtag as the previous broadcasts, hashtag NGS Headline on X. Together, we can make NGS an even more fantastic game. Since I began serving as the host of this program in March 2025, these 9 months have flown by and I've enjoyed a very fulfilling tenure at NGS so far. In 2026, I will continue to deliver reliable information to all ARKS. And as a fellow ARKS defender, who sometimes fights alongside you, I will keep loving NGS. Looking forward to another fantastic year. The next episode of NGS Headline, and the first one for 2026, will be on Tuesday, January 27th.
Yep, that's what I thought for the next one.
We'll be focusing mainly on the updates coming in February 2026. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now then, ARKS, I will see you in the next NGS Headline Wave. Wishing you a bright and happy new year! Bye-bye!
Alright, so the stream is ending here for them. Let me go ahead and back this up to where the new roadmap is here. Here we go. So, just looking at this thing again. So, there's an NGS 5th Anniversary Year 5 Go Beyond for February to March. So, okay, so actually there's 2 field updates. No, 3 field updates coming. So, the first one's going to be for the Neon City, or I guess the Nameless City. And then for the limited time quests and 2 limited time urgent quests. And then we already know about the Plastic Model Series collab. They just spent a whole bunch of time on that thing. So to answer the question from earlier about, or I guess not a question, but that this character here, in the April to May section, their outfit kind of resembled Shiva. I guess, let me kind of skip around here a bit to see if we can find that again real quick.
That is definitely having Photoner vibes.
Yeah. Especially with I would say the red hair, if anything, is kind of tipping me off on that.
Well, I always theorized that the dolls were made with Photoner technology, with how their bodies work.
Yeah, especially go ahead.
Well, the explosion for Grav for the grave Photoner enemy was very similar to how the dolls exploded initially.
Yep. And I was going to loop in on the whole Photonzol thing as well there. I don't know if that's actually something new that Zeffetto developed, or if that was actually an older technology that we just simply never saw in PSO2.
But at least there's something to speculate on. Though I am, with some of the lines from the preview, I am suspecting that we may actually be seeing. It sounds like there may be some man may be recognizing some of these characters.
There's also that crown that they're wearing there. It's got some sort of symbol inside the crown there. Do you see that?
Yeah, it just looks like another. It kind of looks like a Halo. The whole thing gives a Halo vibe, similar to the high enemies.
Could be, yeah. It's interesting that it's kind of fragmented that way. The reason red is kind of pointing me that way is because red is one of the main colors that Shiva had. Although I think Shiva's more white and red, now that I think about it.
Well, there's also the Darkers. Oh,
true. Yeah, she did also have some dark colors, didn't she? Oh, there's also the triangle theming here as well.
That's what was catching my eyes as well. Yeah, like the horns, they have kind of this very photon, Lumimech style to them.
Yeah. Yeah, we really don't know. I mean, we one of the big ongoing questions that's never really been brought up in NGS has been the state of Omega and what had happened there since in the past 1,000 years. Kalki. That would be interesting because that would be a reference back to one of the mag names. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the mag names from PSO. But it's these names are also from the Rig Vedic. The second part of the name is slipping my mind, but the it's the hymns that that all those names come from, as well as Indra and Agni and such. But yeah, it's just I think we at least have some idea based on this little chat here of who this potentially could be. If she has any actual direct relationship to Shiva or not, we don't know. But at the very least, it seems to be pointing the way of a photoner. Yeah. And who knows? What it's possible there could have been other photoners outside of normal photoner space that just got lost at some point, and maybe this is all their attempt to get back into where their original home was.
Alternate idea. What if this is basically the answer the second development team had? The separatist group of the resurgent ARKS. They went off and this was the answer that they developed.
It could be, but if that's the case, what's up with the giant Clarissa that's in the Nameless City?
I don't know.
It would seem to be two separate things in that case, because they never the Photoners never had a Clarissa. I think at this point we're gonna have to kind of see where the next mini episode in February and then the next full chapter goes in April, May. I think that's where we kind of have to leave this, but at least it's true. It might not be a photoner for all we know. The staff at Sega could, or rather the Sega Sapporo could be trying to pull a Star Trek on us and bringing up the mirror universe or something.
This could.
True, could also be Machian.
It could be, but then wouldn't there be something like Gran already discovered? I mean, wouldn't there be more references to Phantasy Star Nova by now, then?
I would agree if that was the case, yeah. But there really haven't been. If anything, it seemed like initially the direction it was heading was the direction of New Genesis being in line with Idola, if anything. Yeah, so I think we got to see what direction they take it at this point, and see if any of it kind of lines up with the lore that's been presented in the past. Because this is interesting what they're trying to play here. I keep looking at that ring that's inside the middle of their crown there, and could swear I've seen that somewhere before. Where it's like it's not the crown itself, but it's like this circle with like lines going out from it, and it's kind of segmented there. I could have
Kind of
sworn
looks
I've
like
seen that.
circuit traces.
Kinda. I'm talking about not the ring that's inside that's not on the crown itself, not the blue and the pink there, but in the middle of the crown where it's not like connected to anything. I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to like let me see if I can do this here. Properties. No, I have okay, so this is an OBS thing. I have it set to actually capture what my cursor is pointing at, but it's oh wait, there we go. Okay, I just had to click into it. Okay, it's this thing right here that I'm talking about. This whatever this sort of pinkish.
That's what I was. That's
okay.
kind of what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Well, we'll figure out eventually who this is. We'll find out if our guesses are right or not here. But this at least has me a little excited finally for what might be coming down the line here. But I would say at this point, Sega needs to earn that before I'm gonna really be doing anything major here. I think what we've set out today is at least a good start, but Sega needs to perform on what they're presenting here. Perform probably isn't the right word. I just can't think of a better one right in this moment.
Execute.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, and then going back to this again here real quick. So June to July, new field update, and then they said they were going to bring in those new high difficulty, the new high difficulty quest. Levels going up to 120. If they do only 5 levels every 6 months, that's going to be, what? That's going to be like 16 more level caps before we ever reach 200. So that if we actually get up to 200, then that would be another 8 years. I just don't see that happening right now. But then again, who knows? For PSU, at least for the US and European servers, that got stopped before it ever got to 200. I think Phantasy Star Universe stopped before 200 for the Japanese version as well, but I'm not 100% on that. I think it stopped at like maybe a 180 or something.
At the very least, there is a chance that they are going to finally touch on what possibly happened to the ARKS of old. Because we've been hounding on them.
Yep. And then, yeah, so then August to September, that's the Super Fantasy Festival. And then October onwards, new quest content, new field update. No main story for the rest of the year, it looks like. But maybe they'll drop another in January, and maybe they'll maybe make it a once every 4 months thing, which at least would be better than how things were at the start, where it was every 6 months we got a story update. Although even like chapter 6 and even chapter 6 and 7, they were never like as deep as what we got for like the first 5 chapters. we'll have to see how things go. I think that's the best thing we can leave it on.
And even then, what we got for the first 5 chapters, it was still nowhere near what we were getting for base PSO2.
True. Yeah, because for that, it was just the main story. For base PSO2, it was, you got your story, but then you also had all these other side conversations with other characters as well through the side content. I mean, you go even further back, you have to think about how things were originally laid out, whereby the story would actually have a failure state and then a good state that you would have to work into. True, yeah, Nurudin. Yeah, there's also the question of what's up with Xiao and Sierra. Are they still alive? Are they gone? What's the state of the main ARKS fleet?
And you also asked the question, why is Helfa getting all this attention?
Yep.
At this point, it's basically confirmed we are the Guardian if we actually finish the base PSO2. The problem is they're just not going. It's really dumb that the main cast is completely ignoring our character at this point still.
Yeah. And then, the fact that we ourselves really aren't even speaking up, it kind of makes it feel like at this point we're sort of an unreliable narrator in a way. But I think this is a good enough point for us to leave off on here, at least in terms of the roadmap. Let me go ahead and bring us over to here. And I'm going to bring up some of the other stuff that we need to look at here today. Starting with... So, I want to bring this up briefly here. What was up with this survey? Because it was just 2 questions and that was it. Granted, it says here it was from Sega Corporation. But that was pretty darn direct, basically asking, the question of, would you recommend the game to anybody else?
I think the answer was was pretty across the board. No.
Yeah. And so the fact that they're actually putting, so much development into it that they're now confirming they're at least going to October of next year. Like, what are we supposed to make of that when NGS was potentially only supposed to go for around 5 years?
Sega may be realizing that there is such brand damage caused by NGS that they have to at least have the game end on a decent note. We may not be getting the Gyra fall that Arwen was thinking of, but we may be still getting close. They may be getting ready to close the story.
Yeah, that would make sense. And they haven't made any mention of Gyra ever since that fall event that happened during the launch year. So at this point, I think that plot point has probably been completely abandoned, unless we start to see something related to it here. Yeah, Rio Pucci, I completely agree. I would recommend base PSO2, but not NGS.
I wish they didn't get rid of the... I really wish they didn't get rid of the original story events for base PSO2, because a lot of that there was a lot of good stuff in the original 3 episodes that just disappeared because they wanted to streamline everything.
Yep. The fact that And I was just going through some of that content again in the past couple of months, looking at actually how that all played out again. It's just a quick reminder to myself. But yeah, it's like you think about the initial events that happened related to the Lillipens, and it was basically you had a choice of did you arrive at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. and that would change how the scene at the end of the mission would play out. And then, of course, there was also with the Dragonkin, or Draconians, the first time around going through their mission, their story mission, you were in a fail state whereby the Vol Dragon basically got infected and you had to completely kill them to stop them. But in the second state of that mission, you actually were able to purify them. Now, back when this was first produced, you didn't have that animation of pulling photons out of the Vol Dragon. That did not exist until episode 4, when you did that with the falls that had infected Aru or Al, depending upon your version.
So the weird thing is I never remember killing the Vol Dragon. Of course, I did that when I ran that mission. I went immediately for the infection core on it, though.
Well, it was like, because of how the matter board worked back then, which is something the global servers never saw, the matter board. But the way that it worked was that mission initially started with you getting into the mission, failing, then having to complete more of the matter board to then understand how to actually complete or how to actually get through everything correctly. And I think that was through some of the conversations with the NPCs.
I'm going to be I joined base PSO2 back in episode 2, so like of the original run on JP.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a taste of I got a pretty decent taste of the matterboard. I really miss the matterboard. Well, episode 2 version of the matterboard, at least. It helped. Yeah. It really helped spread out the story, so it wasn't just a rapid run through the whole thing.
I agree. Yeah, it had you go out into the fields to find the golden tablets that would drop from the sky, to have conversations with NPCs, or you'd need to find certain items or weapons on the ground dropped by enemies. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Rio Pichu, because there were also all the blue nodes that also came with the blue tablets that dropped down, which just gave you sort of incidental chats with other characters. Yep, I agree there as well. But okay, I think we've harped on the survey enough here at this point. Here, let's move on. There is apparently a bug right now where the rest assign and reverse assign do not appear during all ship matchmaking for certain quests, and they're currently working on a fix for the issue. And then, if anybody has been using Coda Shop for purchasing AC, that is being discontinued for New Genesis as of January 20th.
I think it's basically saying we have our own shop now. We don't need this third party handling it for us anymore.
Right. Although if that's really what they wanted to do, I'm surprised they're also still doing it through like Steam and Epic Game Store and such.
Well, I think they don't want to risk possibly having these store. I think they have to still offer it through those places, just because they're also hosting the game. So, in a way, if they stopped selling through those shops, they may end up with Steam just delisting the game or and such.
I'd be surprised if that was the case, because why, if that really was the thing, why would Steam ever sell a game that never had DLC? For all we know, this could be something on the Coda Shop side of things that maybe their agreement ran out or something.
Possibly.
Anyway, let's move on. So this is an important one. If anybody is unaware, there was an update to the end user license agreement, and basically what it's saying is there were updates to Section 19 for residents in the United States and Canada, binding arbitration and class action waiver. We're not lawyers, so we can't advise you on this, but you definitely want to check that out if you haven't read through that yet. And that does it for a new Genesis. Let's move on to Clementine here now. So, in the time since the last headline, they did release an update in November. It was a very brief update here. They added a quest called The Tower, which is a new quest found at the Falls Memoria, and you're basically asked to conquer 100 floors to receive a rare drop rate plus 30% for 1 hour, and players must be level 180 to participate. That kind of sounds like the what is it? The Eternal Tower in Phantasy Star Zero, doesn't it?
I don't think I ever got much into the Eternal Tower, though. But yeah, it does.
Yeah, I need to go back to that at some point as a follow-up on my Let's Play series of Zero, because I honestly don't know if there's any actual story in there or not. All I know is that it's just 100 floors.
I think there is story to it, but it's not there completely there. At least you do encounter some remixes of the story bosses, though.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm in the middle of Phantasy Star, the end of the Millennium right now, and then I've got other stuff I want to get back to next year. So we'll see when I'm able to get around to that. Oh, gotcha, Rigapichu. Okay. It's still something I want to get off my my bucket list at some point here. Anyway, in addition to that updates, on the starting December 15th, or rather, noted on the 15th of December, the Rogues invited all Guardians to join them for a Christmas party, and that has unlocked 2 missions. So that is Mag 3rd for C to Ultimate rank, and then for also the mission Beyond the Peak Ultimate rank only. And then, along with that, they did some maintenance on the 20th, and with that, they brought up a new set of patch notes here, so we'll go through those real quick. So, again, that was for the Christmas party. They also added new weapons: Lavis Cannon /U+, the Daylight Scar /U+, Psycho Wand /U+. And then they also added new shiny variants of the Holy Knight Sion, Fusil, and Arrow, as well as Psycho Wand /U*+. And they added new extra units, Diamond Dust Plus and Meteor Drive /D. And then on the 20th, they also had to apply some hot fixes. They fixed the lobby losing sound and breaking everything. They fixed Caves 3 having skips. They fixed the ultimate difficulty not S ranking with some depth, and so players are now able to go down as much as they want to now. But they also have a note to not hit the print screen in the lobby, or else it crashes the game. So that's a bit of a bug. I guess for now, players need to use other options to do that, like using the built-in Windows snipping tool or something else, like maybe OBS or something to take a picture. And then they had another hotfix on the 21st, where they fixed the Goma Methnas being fire instead of ice in Mines 1, and they applied the mission point boost to the event missions. And then just yesterday, they applied a potential fix to the infinite loading that players have been experiencing, but they need to know if players are still experiencing it. And based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like they might still be experiencing some of that here. Moving on from Clementine, let's take a look at Ephinia. So with Ephinia, there was an update here with a new DLL that was released to address an issue with event wrappies, so that being for the Christmas event. There was a change a couple of years ago to allow any player to initiate the drop request for wrappies to protect against desync, but the event wrappies were missing from that change, so that is now fixed. They also fixed the missing quest loading BGM when Slow Burst was set to quest only. Christmas Fiasco Episode 4 had its coal reward lowered to 4. Christmas Fiasco had its coal reward increased to 11. These changes were made after considering the past few years of trends for the Christmas Fiasco quests. They added support for a new launcher option to save fields in the Party Create window. This option will be enabled in a few days after they've done some more testing. And they added a number of patches for 2 new mags. And then as for the Christmas event itself, it goes from December the 14th to January 11th. And basic idea is, with this, you basically need to collect presents. However, not all the not all the normal to very hard items are in the ultimate presents. As usual, the present list is different this year, and they have all the details of that down here for all the presents that have been found so far. It's still being filled out by players in terms of what can be found. But the things to look out for in these kind of events, the power of all weekly boosts is doubled for the duration of the event. On December 24th, 25th, 31st, and 1st, present drop rates are doubled. The Christmas Fiasco quests are unlocked in each episode for the duration of the event. These are powerful, dense quests that span multiple areas. Completing these quests rewards coal. Coal does not drop randomly, but a small amount of coal is obtainable from common presents. The quests reward 4, 11, and 4, respectively, for each episode. Coal can be used to buy presents from the Rawcast by the bank in the Christmas Shop quest in Episode 1. Presents can drop from any enemy in any difficulty. Ultimate mode has stronger presents than other modes. The rare Saint Rappies spawn in VR Temple in Episode 2 and drop their own variety of Christmas presents. These contain a variety of mag sales, including the Ephinia exclusive mag kit, Varuna mag kit, Kalki kit, Vritra kit, and these Rappies replace the Love Rappies for the duration of the event. The items in presents. The items in presents are reported by the community. Moderators will periodically update this post with the section that we saw below. And when you report an item, please report it whether it was in a present that dropped in normal to very hard or a present that dropped in ultimate. And remember that presents do not drop from Rappies that are scared away, nor do they drop from boxes. Rappies that are defeated normally will still drop presents. Present drop rates are not affected by DAR, so presents have an equal chance of dropping from any killed enemy regardless of any daily or weekly DAR or RDR boosts. And items listed with variable hit can have anywhere from 15% to 60% hit. And that is their Christmas event in a nutshell. And that's pretty much everything that I had for today. Obviously, we need to see where things are going with the story. We need to find out if that actually was a photoner that was shown off on screen, or if there's something else going on, if they have any relationship to Shiva. Brooks, is there anything that you want to bring up here still, or any other comments you want to bring up about the roadmap?
I do have one more thing. We should probably take a look at the current Steam charts for NGS.
Okay. Give me a moment, and I'll try to get that loaded up. SteamDB, right?
I just posted it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and let me try to zoom this in and bring it up on screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm looking at the 7-day, but if we go out a bit here... where are you looking for me to go? The 1 year or the all?
Actually, I'm just pointing out, despite everything, even with Dark Falls Luther, there just hasn't been they barely managed to make this game move the needle at all.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He released earlier last week on Wednesday, but then if we go to Wednesday the prior week, yeah, there really is, there's not that much of an uptick whatsoever here. It's like maybe an extra 100 to 200 players in, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think the only way NGS could actually fully recover is that they actually have to commit to fully upgrading the core systems around it. They need to actually embrace the open world that they started out with, even though a lot of people scream and say that was one of the reasons it failed. There may be some good story updates coming, slicky, but currently it's basic. The game still has huge issues.
Yeah, Sega needs to earn our trust on the story at this point here, especially after the last mini episode. That was absolutely ridiculous how short that thing was.
But the thing is, I've also noticed that the main story updates are usually when the player counts kind of explode. I think there are a lot of players who are waiting on the story updates before they really do a return. So we may see a return of players with the main story updates coming in. But it's also still a case of one of the big issues my friends has is that there isn't much to do beyond just grinding the fields. Just constantly running the same, killing enemies in the field all the time.
Yep.
When they, I think Sega needs to accept that they can't just box everyone into the same area over and over again, try to get everyone to play together. Which is basically why they keep doing this thing where they drip feed content, because it's not because they don't have the content or can't produce it fast enough. That's, at this point, kind of a lie. They're doing it because they want to get the players to play together in the same areas. Which wasn't really an emphasis with base PSO2. Base PSO2, you were often doing stuff on your own by yourself. and it was never really an issue with base PSO2.
Right.
You had just as much content that you could avoid playing with other players over. And most MMOs allow you to just go single player. I mean, just do a lot of single player stuff as well. What I really would recommend for NGS is to go back and look at the open world that they abandoned. NGS was built on the open world idea. By abandoning it, they basically abandoned what they were trying to do with New Genesis. It's not that I won't even say that they should abandon the dungeon format either. The problem is their dungeons suck compared to base PSO2's dungeons too. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
How basically the forest exploration field completely blows most of what NGS has in terms of dungeon content out. And that was just basic starting area.
Yeah.
They really need someone who can sit down and who can basically, I think half the problem is most of the players, most of the developers are not players. So they aren't really in sync with what needs to be done. They're looking at this like stats and such.
Yep.
And also I'm going to admit that most of the feedback the players have been giving has been crap as well. A lot of it I watch and it's either these very self-absorbed screenshotters, or it's people who keep asking for the game to be streamlined. And I'm not surprised that they don't pay attention to the NGS headline hashtag much anymore.
I mean, going back to your comment about the open world there, I mean, the way I look at it is, yeah, I think they should go back and try the open world again. I would say, me personally, I still would have preferred a map that was a little bit bigger than this, maybe twice as big. But I mean, there's still the potential to do stuff. I was pointing out that boat in Alio long before anybody else was even thinking about lore implications. I'd like to actually know more about that story. I have my own ideas of how that could have all played out had they continued down that path. But in terms of just the fact that everything is samey, and that's one of the problems that they have. And I might have said this before somewhere. Make it so that when you enter the area for whatever battle area you're going into, whether it be the forest or the Vanford ruins or wherever you're heading, you can see a representation of what you might find inside there. But as soon as you cross over the barrier into the new area, the whole area inside there is actually randomly generated terrain like you had in base PSO2. So it's not always the same terrain.
Yep. That is one of the things. Like, I was thinking, like, Resolve Forest could be randomly generated. You enter into Resolve Forest and suddenly you're in, and excuse is the area is in a dimensional flux. So when you enter it, it's always changing its layout, and it's a bit more like the forest area from base PSO2, where it's more dungeon-like.
Yep, and the only reason you would see the forest in its original form is because they need a way to handle the player entering a battle area, but for some reason there's a delay with the data coming down from the server of what the randomization is supposed to actually look like. Or maybe it updates every time it goes out of calling distance in the game. I don't know. You could handle it either way.
Other than that, I think we're just kind of...
Yeah, we're kind of spinning our wheels.
Yeah. they are saying they have field updates coming. We don't know what they are. We may get what we want still. But I don't know. I am kind of... The problem is they keep building upon a rotting framework here. NGS's original concepts need to be... The base systems that the game started out with need to be updated so badly in order for it to survive. And that's why part of me wonders if
go ahead.
Yeah, we're spinning our wheels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we're headed towards the end of the game in the next year or two, then so be it. If they try to fix things, then hey, I'll give them as much as they want here, but they at the same time have to earn my respect again at this point here. This is one of the lowest points of the series at this point. There's no question about that. But I think that's going to basically do it for us here today. And that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. So, on behalf of Rooks and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a good day, everyone. And hopefully everything that is concerning you out there gets resolved in some way that pleasantly.